So today we have Jess here from Computacenter, which is a multinational IT and computing company. I know from my time before this job and working kind of around London and in different offices, but Computacenter is an incredibly well-known name, and you're constantly seeing people walking around with little Computacenter polo shirts and t-shirts on. So it's a very big name in the kind of IT industry. They provide a lot of IT and computing solutions to big companies, and I'm sure Jess will tell us a bit more about what else they do. But that's what my experience of them is, a very well-known name in this industry. So the plan for today is I'm just going to very briefly kind of introduce Jess and talk a teeny bit about the IT sector, but I don't really know much about it myself. And Jess, we'll hand over to Jess, and she'll talk a bit more about life at Computacenter, the various pathways and opportunities, and I've been told she's going to talk a lot about the kind of non-IT based roles. It's going to be a big learning for him today, is that there's, it's not just, IT, computing, coding roles in the IT industry. There's actually a lot more. Then we're going to hand over to my colleagues, Ashley and Leanne, and they're going to talk a little bit about your options after college, and how CCG, which is just a college group, can take you to the next steps. What are your options going forward in terms of your education from here? Or employment from here. We're also going to do a little Q&A with Jess. So if you think of any questions, note them down and try and remember them. And we will ask Jess them, and we'll do that either using the chat function, or we'll just speak them out loud. So we can ask questions of Jess, and ask questions of us at the college as well. So if you have any questions you want to ask now, or not now, but a little bit later in the presentation, we'll do the time. Good. So thank you everyone for joining us. So today, or the IT sector, I'll briefly tell you what I know about the IT sector, why you might want to work in this. It's a constantly changing industry. So today, in the world of remote working and Teams meetings, we're in one today. A year ago or 2 years ago, the idea of doing this event by Teams like this would have been impossible. And here we have, a couple of entire classes tuning in from, through their screens. We have people coming in from home, people coming in from, I don't know where, and Jess coming in from wherever she is to have this event. So, in the world of IT, it's a constantly evolving environment, and the IT industry is constantly adapting to that changing environment. There are opportunities at every level. So as well as huge companies like Computacenter that we have Jess from today, there are tons of small companies and tech startups. I know there's lots of people that go into I know someone that kind of finished his education and went into a small tech startup that was just 3 people in the entire company. So you have those tiny kind of 1, 2, 3-man bands, and you have bigger companies as well. So there's opportunities in kind of loads of different sizes of companies, and opportunities for all. So if you're, if you think I'm not really sure I want to go into coding or IT, I'm not really sure I want to go into this, there's actually a ton of opportunities in non-IT based roles and a whole variety of different professional roles in this sector. So it's not just IT and computing. There's loads of stuff that you could be doing for a big company like Computacenter. And now that's pretty much it from me. I'm now going to hand over to Jess Duke-Jackson, who is with us, and I will let you present your slides, Jess.
Okay, thank you.
I've realised I've misspelt your name on this slide. After all that trouble, making sure I put your name right.
Don't worry. There's many names. If
Jackson.
anything, there's too many names. So I definitely forgive you for that. Don't worry. Thank you for that introduction. And actually, going through your points, it's almost as if we've created the same slide. So I'm really glad messaging is the same. So good morning, everybody. I'm really thankful for being able to kind of talk to you here today. Today, I've kind of pulled together about 15-minute presentation. Please feel free to kind of put some questions in the chat or ask me some questions at the end. Please know I'm not technical, so don't ask me any technical questions, but I can definitely maybe take some of those questions away and get some of my technical resource to help me with any specific technical questions you may or may not have. So what am I here to do today? I'm here to give you, as Alistair was saying, a bit of an overview of the industry, what roles are available within the industry, but ultimately I want to give you a bit of a sense of the opportunity within the industry. Before I get to that, let's see if I can get to the next slide. I thought I'd just give you a bit of an introduction into who I am. So, Jess Duke-Jackson, I'm 31 years old, and I've been working in the IT industry for 10 years. You may notice that I've got a bit of an accent. I'm actually from South Africa. I'm actually from a very small farming town in central South Africa called Douglas. I work for a company, like Alistair was saying before, called Computacenter, and I'm one of their account managers. I'm actually one of Computacenter's top account managers, and I'm not saying that here to you to brag about my opportunities and my performances. I'm saying this to give you a bit of a sense of the opportunity that is available to anyone on this call within the industry. Many of my colleagues are older than me. Many of my colleagues are male. Many of my colleagues are actually even more experienced than me. But actually, they are such a diverse set of opportunities within the industry. And with the right focus and attitude, there is so much that you could do and in so many ways in which you can excel. And I hope to kind of give you a bit of a sense of that today. Again, happy to answer some questions at the end or to set up some kind of private sessions later on if that's appropriate. Before I get into Computacenter and my role as a account manager, I'll kind of give you a bit of a list of 6 things that I like about the IT industry that hopefully gives you a bit more insight into the industry. First of all, the IT industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the UK. In 2020, it grew by 7.9%. The IT industry is worth £400 million a day to the UK industry, to the UK economy. And why do I like that? Well, it gives me a sense of security. I know that my skills and my experiences will become relevant and will continue to be relevant moving forward. The second thing I like about the IT industry, and Alistair was talking about it at the start, is that it's dynamic, it's changing. Broadly speaking, every 18 months, there's a new bit of technology coming out, and that makes my job interesting. There's always something new happening within the industry, and there's always new ways in which I need to help my customer understand some of these technologies. The third thing I like about the industry is that there's a lot of opportunity within the industry. I mentioned that at the start of the call, but actually, what does that mean in real terms? 10% of all jobs in the UK market today are tech jobs, and this is only expected to increase. The thing that I like about the industry is actually it pays really well. The average UK salary is circa £36,000. The average tech salary is £53,000. And actually, if you become an IT specialist, you know, specifically some of the courses that you guys do around security, cloud, actually the range of salary is much greater than that, between 50 and 80,000. And why is that? It's because those skills are in demand. The UK Parliament has actually said that we're in a verge of crisis, where actually the demand for specialist IT skills is much higher than actually the supply of IT skills. And actually, maybe even as a bit of homework, or not homework, but something that you can do after this call, is do a bit of a Google into actually what is this particular crisis around the need for digital skills within the UK. It is one of the biggest topics within the industry, and this need to have specialist skills in the industry today, but moving forward will continue. As Alistair said at the start of the call, technology is increasingly becoming something that we use at work, but increasingly becoming something that we use in our everyday lives. And so people that are skilled in these type of technologies have so much opportunity. And I guess this kind of 6th and final thing that I really like about the industry is that it gives me freedom of choice. There are so many different types of roles within the industry. This slide over here is just a bit of a view of the IT specific roles within one Google search. There are so many different opportunities in there. But as Alistair said, it's not just specific IT roles. There are so many more opportunities within the sector. You could go into the legal element of it, you could go into the marketing element of it, you could go into the sales element of it, which is what I do, or you could do events or customer services. There's such a broad range of roles, jobs available within the industry. And again, as Alistair said, you don't have to work for a big multinational company like I do. Many organizations, if not most organizations, have some requirement for IT skills. And you could work for a big tech company like Computacenter, like Google, like some of those other companies that are listed on that screen, or you could work for someone like Barclays. They have lots of IT needs. Or you could work for perhaps a university. They have also specific IT needs. Or you don't have to work for a big company or a small company. You could go freelance. There's such a big demand for skills that actually you could then work anywhere at any time for anyone. An example of one of the biggest drivers is actually people who have digital content skills. And that's a picture of one of the YouTubers who I don't know. But actually, YouTubers these days are increasingly looking for people who have the capability, who have IT skills. And so there's just so much options for you within this industry. And as I kind of detailed before, these options are just going to continue to grow. That's just a bit of kind of 6 reasons why I really like the industry. And I do think it's probably 6 good reasons that if you are potentially considering it, having another look into it, because I think that there is a lot of opportunity now, but I think there'll be a lot of opportunity moving forward in so many different guises. What I'm going to talk you through now is the opportunities within my own company, give you a bit of a flavor around what Computacenter do, how we work with our customers, and actually some of the roles and opportunities available for you within Computacenter, should that be something that you want to look at down the line. So Computacenter, who are we and what do we do? So Computacenter are an independent technology company, and we help our customers do one of 3 things. We help them source technology, so we help them buy hardware and software. We help customers transform their environment by giving them access to skilled IT resources like solution architects, like security architects, any kind of skilled project managers, any kind of skilled resources that they as an organization don't have their own. They can come and ask us and buy those resources from us. Or if you're a company and actually, say, for example, you're Sainsbury's and you don't want to be focusing on your IT, you want to be focusing on providing goods and services in the best way you can within your shop and online, you can actually give your IT services out to Computacenter and we can manage it on behalf of our customers. So we do one or all of those things, helping our customers buy technologies, helping our customers make the most of their technologies, and helping our customers manage their technology. This is just a picture of our offices. Our offices are in Hatfield. This is a view of the main head office, and then the second picture with all the computers is a view of our warehouse. So we have a very big warehouse in there that enables us to very effectively and efficiently deliver a lot of IT to our customers, wherever they are in the country or wherever they are in the world. So this is a map which gives you a bit of an overview of where we provide services to our customers. The dark blue is where we provide services to our customers. And we've got offices around the world. We've got some offices in Cape Town, we've got some offices in Dallas, Berlin, you can see the list. And that is because we work with really big global customers. This is a list of customers that we work with every day. A lot of those names you will recognize. A lot of those organizations you probably use every day. Tesco's, Channel 4, Barclays, whoever that may be, we work with very large customers. And my role specifically as an account manager is to work very closely with the customer. My area of expertise isn't necessarily technology. My area of expertise is the customer. Understanding what the customer's strategy is, understanding what they're trying to achieve as an organization, and then providing them with an overview of what services and solutions we can help with that. To bring that to life a little bit, I'll use an example. I used to look after Barclays Bank, and one thing that was happening is that when the people who work for Barclays were coming into the office, not only were they bringing in their work laptop, but they were also bringing in their personal devices, whether that was their mobile phones or whether that was a tablet. And that was causing a bit of an issue for Barclays because they had more devices and therefore the network was not being able to perform because there were too many devices on the network, and they had a security issue. And therefore it was my role as the account manager to understand this business challenge, communicate to Barclays what services and solutions we could provide to them to help them with the challenge, and then give them access to the skilled resources or to give them access to the technology to help them address this challenge. And I like my role because I get to work with the customer every single day. I get to understand what they're trying to do, and I get to help them with some of their business challenges. So for me, I don't really see myself as an IT person. I almost see myself as kind of like a business enabler, if that makes sense to you. And the other great thing about my job is that I get to work with lots of really interesting technology companies. This is a list of technology companies that we have partnerships with, and I work with them on a daily basis. And again, this is really interesting. And a lot of those names, many of you guys will recognize, many of you guys actually maybe have some IT with them. And so that kind of just brings me to a bit of a closing point to say there are lots of opportunities available for you within the IT industry. And specifically, Computacenter is very much invested in the future talent. And we've got a number of programs that, should you want to get involved within the IT industry, you can. One of those programs is a sales associate program, which is how I came onto Computacenter. The sales associate program is a grad program, and so for the first 12 months of my career within Computacenter, I was just learning. I was learning about the industry, I was learning about business, I was learning about networking, and so it gives me a nice stepping stone to enable to me to get into the industry. And Computacenter isn't unique in providing graduate programs, in providing apprenticeships, in providing placements. There are many organizations, and many specifically IT organizations, that provide some really great programs that help you, once you've completed your qualifications, step into that business world and really help you develop your knowledge. So in closing, I think the IT industry is a fantastic place to work. And I think if you've got the opportunity to skill up in some of those really in-demand skills, you will have a lot of opportunity moving forward. It's a fast-growing industry. It's a dynamic industry. It pays well. There's lots of opportunity, and you'll have a freedom of choice to do what you want to for whichever company, big, small, IT role, non-IT roles. It's just such a big sector with so much opportunity. And that was it, really. I didn't want to go into too much detail about the technical bits because it's not my area of expertise, but I'm happy to take some questions now around the industry, Computacenter, my role, if anybody has anything else. But hopefully that was useful and informative and gives you a bit of a perspective of the IT industry, and it's not just people sitting in data centers. So that was it, really.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jess. That was really interesting. It'd be good to do a Q&A now. So if we could have questions, guys, you could either raise your hand using the raise your hand function and just speak across us to say your questions, or you can type them in the chat bar. Those of you that are all in a classroom together, perhaps you could tell them to your teacher and have him type them in, whoever's got access to the computer, whatever's easiest for you. But it'd be good, this is a good opportunity while Jess is here to speak to someone in the industry and ask questions that might help you guys. Some of you guys are perhaps going off into employment, in the next few months. Some of you might be carrying on your education. So yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to ask someone in the industry some questions. Here we go. We have a first question from Ashley. So Jess, I'll read this out, and afterwards, I think Neil's raised his hand, so we'll go to Neil after that. So Ashley's question: what kind of skills are most in demand at the moment in your industry? Are there any kinds of job roles that you struggle to fill?
So I think there are a lot of skills that are in demand. But one that is specifically in demand is related to security. So you've got so many more people using devices, you've got so many different more platforms, and protecting people's data. I mean, I personally put a lot of my data online, and that is the number one problem for IT organizations and any business. Security is one of the biggest concerns. So I think security is certainly a big one. The second one is, I guess, digital content creation, where you've got so many different platforms, whether those are social media, websites. The need to have a compelling online presence for an organization is really big, or to have an online presence as a person. So say you were a YouTuber, or say you were an influencer, or whatever you may be, say you were a coach or freelance, your presence online is really important. So any kind of skills around web design, content creation, are really in demand. I think those are the two, but certainly if you do a bit of a Google search, you will see that there are a number of skills that are required, but those are the kind of two for me that spring to mind, really.
Cool, thank you, Jess. I've seen Neil's raised his hand. So Neil, do you want to give us a question?
Yeah, certainly. Jess, I'm the lecturer here, and I run the program for level 4, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to ask a question, hopefully for some of my rather shy students who may not want to speak. But generally speaking, some of them will be going on to university for the third and final year of their degree. Mm-hmm. I can see there on this slide, you mentioned you've got graduate programs. Mm-hmm. What would Computacenter require of, is it postgraduate, or would they accept somebody coming from, say, HND, which is level 5?
I was educated in South Africa, so I don't know what level 5 actually means. But
yeah, it's the second year of a degree program. A traditional degree in the UK would be 3 years, so they're on the second year.
And they would want to do almost like a placement year before they complete their third year?
Could be, or it could be go on to the third year. But would that be something that Computacenter would consider, or would it have to be somebody that's finished a degree and then going on to a postgraduate training program with Computacenter?
So we actually cater for both.
Okay.
So, for example, the grad program. The grad program is a program that I've been on, and I would say it looks for people who want roles in three areas: project management, service management, and account management. It's a 12-month program sponsored by our CEO. And within that 12-month program, you basically rotate around the business. So say, for example, within the first month, you would spend some time within our procurement department. In the second month, you would spend some time within our line of service, so within our kind of networking teams, data center teams. And the objective of the program is to fast track your knowledge within the IT industry, fast track your knowledge within Computacenter, but ultimately give you the opportunity to be a rounded person, so that when you are engaging with your customers, you've got a really good sense of various elements, both from an industry point of view, a company point of view, and a customer point of view. To get on one of those programs, there is a minimum, qualification level where you need to get a 2-1 to get on. You don't necessarily have to have a degree in IT. It just needs to be a degree, but that's the specific grad program. But then you've got the associate programs and the industry placement ones. So the industry placement one is almost like a work experience program where, if you're still doing your studies and you want to have the opportunity to go into the workplace and learn a little bit more before you complete your studies, then that's something that you could do as well. And we also do have programs where it's only the grad program where you technically have to have a degree to get on the program. So, for example, the associate program gives you opportunities to join Computacenter whether or not you've got a degree or work experience. It is very much targeted at giving people who have just kind of come out of a level of education a bit of opportunity to get into the industry. But what I can do, Neil, I don't know if I've got this at the end. I think these are some of the other apprenticeship programs that we offer, but I'm more than happy to provide you a bit of an overview of the various programs that we do provide. And as I mentioned, Computacenter's not alone. There are multiple IT organizations that have some really great programs. HP, Dell, all of them have some really good opportunities for anybody who's kind of looking at, how do I get from I've just been educated at whatever level, how do I get into the world of work? And these programs are a really good stepping stone for anybody who wants to go into the industry.
That's great. Thanks for that, Jess. And very informative. And I'd appreciate any further information, and I can pass it on to students. And sorry if I'm taking a bit of time, but there's one there you mentioned about apprenticeships. Now, the Chichester College Group, CCG, is looking at setting up a level 6 apprenticeship, which is third and final year of a degree program, and obviously taking into account the government levy scheme. Would that be something that Computacenter would consider with the college group, or would I need to contact someone else to try and discuss that further?
We absolutely do apprenticeships. I'm personally actually myself on an apprenticeship, so I'm doing an MBA with Ashton University. So we do offer apprenticeship opportunities. We've got a dedicated team. They're called Future Talent, and we work with a number of institutions, universities, schools, and like community institutions, supporting them through apprenticeships. So absolutely, I'm happy to kind of pick that one up with you, Neil, afterwards, but there certainly are opportunities there.
Yes, that would be great. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sorry to take up so much
time. No, that's fine. I think they're all good questions.
Cool. Thanks, Neil. Those are some really good questions, and thanks for those responses, Jess. It sounds like there's such a variety of opportunities at Computacenter alone, and obviously elsewhere in the industry. I just have a little question from myself now. Anyone else who's got any questions, do type them in the chat bar, or do speak them. And I think after this, we will move on to Ashley and Leanne, just telling you a little bit about the opportunities here at Chichester College Group. But if you have any questions, even after we've moved on, do send them in, and Jess can still hopefully answer them, or if we end up answering them after the session, that's fine as well. We've got a question in the chat bar here, actually. We'll go to that first. This is from Alexandra. She just said, how do we sign up to the 12-month graduate program? Is it just online?
You can get information on our website, absolutely, so computacenter.com. But I will, Alistair, as a follow-up between you and Neil, I'll give you some information on the grad program. I would definitely recommend it. There is a process to get into it. So there are 3 rounds of, there's a round of interviewing, there's an assessment day, and some various other activities. Actually, one of the things that you do as part of your application is that you actually sit down with our CEO, Mike Norris, who's one of the longest serving CEOs in the FTSE 250, and you actually get an opportunity to interview him. And the purpose of kind of putting you through your paces is actually, as if you were to go into account management like me, you speak to some really senior people. So I've had some very senior meetings with some very senior people within my customers. And so what we try to do is equip anybody, no matter your age, no matter your gender, no matter your background, to be able to kind of hold a conversation with someone of that kind of level of experience. And so the grad program is very much geared into, making you as well-rounded, successful, account manager. And to do that, they put you through your paces. But I wouldn't be discouraged by that. I think it's once you get through that, the opportunity is very, it's a good opportunity.
That sounds really good. That sounds like a great thing for, especially our students who are about to go off into the world of work for the first time. That sounds like a really good program. And Neil has another question. Can you provide any more details on the summer work experience?
Yes, I don't have that to hand, but as I said, I can give you a full breakdown of the various programs that are available, the length of them, what you would typically need to qualify, how do you apply for them. There are quite a few options available. And actually, if helpful, Alistair, I can also just give you a bit of a view around some of the other IT organizations that do provide some programs. Computacentre's programs are well known within the industry. We've won quite a lot of awards for the programs. So they are well known, but there are, as I said, other organizations that provide some really great programs to consider.
Amazing. Another question from Bradley here. You spoke of the legal side of things. What sort of opportunities relate to this field? So legal opportunities.
Yeah, so within Computacenter, we've got a legal department. And so when, for example, we win a contract, when we win a contract, you've basically got to do some legal contracts work. And I do some of that, but actually I need a legal professional. So you don't have to work for a law firm to work in the kind of legal job. Clearly, if you want to be skilled, you may need to get some of those qualifications within the appropriate LLB or whatever the qualifications are called here. But the point being is IT industry has many demands, and one of them is a legal function. And so you could work for Computacenter, an IT company, but still carry out legal work, as an example. Does that answer the question?
I think that answers it perfectly. Right, cool. We've got loads of good questions coming in, guys. Thank you for that. I think I might, and also thank you, Leanne. Leanne has posted the Computacenter information graduate program link in the chat. And guys, I think we will liaise with Jess after this as well. So if you have any more questions, feel free to send them in to myself or to Neil. And so if we have any other questions, we can deal with them after this. I might now move on to Leanne and Ashley, who are going to talk a little bit about the opportunities here at Chichester. So guys, if you think of any questions in the next few minutes for Jess or for any of us, do put them in the chat bar, because there might be a little bit more time to speak about them. But now I'm going to move on to Ashley. Thank you very much, Ashley.
No worries. So, hi everyone. I'm Ashley. I'm Alistair's colleague in the SLN Connect program. And so I'm just going to talk to you a bit about, if you are watching this live or you're watching this after the event, the recording, what are your options to build some of those skills and some of that knowledge that Jess was talking about after you finish the current course, whatever your current course may be. So I was really struck in Jess's talk by how many times she said the word skills, how important it is. These kind of, they might be high tech skills, or they might be really specialist skills in other areas. We talked about kind of the legal department, personnel management, marketing, content creation, etc. And we really are moving into a high skilled economy, where those kind of specialist skills and specialist knowledge is going to be really important, whatever field it might be in. And higher education remains a really key way to build some of those skills and some of that knowledge. And what this slide on the screen shows you is that there are really a range of ways that you can enter higher education and progress through higher education. And I know we've got a HND class on the call, so they will be well aware of kind of one of those progression routes. So in the middle, we've got level 3 in the green bar, and that's kind of your traditional college level course. So that's your A levels and your BTEC courses. That's what most people think of when they think about further education courses. And so higher education is anything above that, so it's levels 4 to 6. And so you can go on and you can do your traditional degree, which is typically 3 years, which will take you through levels 4, 5, and 6. But there's also the options to do a HNC, which is level 4, a HND, which is a level 5, and then to top that up to do a top-up year in order to gain the full level 6. So it might be that a traditional degree is right for you. It might also be that you want to take it in stages, so you can take a bit of time in between completing each level, or you want to keep options open for where you go next. So the key thing of this really is just to make you aware that there are loads of options, and that there are people in college that you can talk to. If you think that you might want to take one of these options, you're not sure which one, do come and have a talk to Progression Plus, and they will be very happy to talk you through all of these options and where you can go next. Why study HE? I'll just go through this briefly because I think Jess has kind of covered some of these points. As Jess was saying, a lot of the big companies that you may want to work for, like Computacenter, they do require and need a highly skilled workforce. They have programs for non-graduates, of course, and various apprenticeships, but they also have all kinds of graduate programs where you need a level 6 qualification and you need at least a 2-1, or they have these kind of work experience or work placement programs for people currently undertaking that higher education course. So as I said before, HE is really a key way of building these specialist skills that are really in demand. So you can increase your knowledge, you can gain that really crucial in-demand knowledge. This will help to improve your employment prospects, and as Jess was saying as well, increase your earning potential. If you've got those technical skills, your earning potential goes up. But across the board, the median average salary across the lifetime increases by about £9,000 for graduates compared to non-graduates. So there really is a financial reward in order that results in gaining those skills. And there's all of the other kind of stuff that goes with studying higher education or going to university. You get to develop life skills. You get all of the kind of personal growth and development, the interpersonal skills. You get to meet new people, gain new experiences, all that kind of stuff which goes with studying HE. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but in our line of work in Uni Connect, a thing that we hear a lot is, oh, I'd love to do that, but God, I don't really fancy getting into all of this debt. Just to make the point that, yes, there is kind of fees associated with studying HE, and you can get loans. These loans are the loans on the best kind of terms that you will ever get. You'll never get a loan for buying a house or a car which is on as good a terms as the student loan. So you get a tuition fee loan, and you'll also get a maintenance fee loan of up to £9,200 a year to cover your living costs for food and rent and stuff like that. And crucially, you only pay it back when/if you can afford to do so. So you only start paying it back if you're earning above the threshold of £26,500 a year. So if you graduate and you're earning below that, you don't pay anything back. At a point when you go above that level, you pay back 9% of anything you earn above that threshold. So that's not 9% of all of your earnings, it's 9% of the amount above the threshold. So I've got some examples here. Graduate 1 is earning £18,500, and they are not currently paying back any of it because they are below the threshold. Graduate 2 is earning £29,600, so they're slightly over the threshold, so they are paying back £272 a year, and that works out at roughly £23 a month. And that £23 a month just gets deducted off of your payslip, a bit like tax and national insurance. So you never even see it, it just gets taken off your payslip. So you can be earning £30,000 a year and all that will be deducted is £23 a month. And I don't know about you, but that's about what I pay for a mobile phone contract, something like that. Graduate 3 has taken a break. They're not currently in work. They don't have any income, so they don't pay back anything. So it's a loan that you only pay back if or when you can afford to do so. There are a range of options for HE at the Chichester College Group, and I'll hand over to Leanne to talk about that. Just to make the point, really, if you want to speak to somebody about your HE options, come and have a chat with Progression Plus. We're here to talk at any time. Also, if you're thinking about going on to HE this year, there is still time. It's not too late. You've missed kind of the first deadline, but you can put in a late application. You can go through clearing. There are loads of options to study HE at the Chichester College Group. Please do act sooner rather than later, but there is still time and there's loads of opportunities for you. So yeah, I'll hand over to Leanne.
Thank you, Ashley. Hi, everybody. Because we've got Neil on the call, actually, I was going to ask Neil if he doesn't mind jumping in as well. We've now got over 30 different university level courses across all of our different campuses. And we've got some really new exciting courses that some of you might be particularly interested in. So we offer everything from business management, hospitality management, construction, engineering, lots and lots of different programs at level 4 and level 5, so equivalent to the first and second year of a degree. And on the slide Ashley showed you, there was some of the bands. So our level 4 qualifications are our HNCs, and our level 5, thank you, and our level 5 qualifications are our HNDs and foundation degrees. And we offer these both full and part-time, depending on the programme you study. But the ones that I think you might be particularly interested in are our HNCs in computing, and at our different campuses we have different specialisms. So at our Chichester campus, there's a lot of focus on the security and some of those things that Jess were talking about. And at our Crawley campus, the focus again is on security and also some of the things related to data. Now, I don't know if you want to talk, because there's a couple of level 3s on the call. You're just about to launch some really new programs, and you've got that exciting cloud computing program and our new foundation degree in disruptive technologies, which also includes computing. I don't know if you want to say a few words to the students who are on the call about the 2 new programs.
Yes, just very briefly, following on from the earlier slides there, where it was mentioned about the growth in particular sectors in IT, it's something that we're very aware of, which is clouds, and there's been an exponential growth in the last 5 years in cloud systems. And you only think of the 3 big players in Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, who are providing those services globally. And between them, they operate about 55 to 60% of cloud systems. So we're conscious of that, and thankfully, because the trend is showing at great areas of growth and so on, we are starting to set up, in conjunction with Pearson and Amazon Web Services, a new HND cloud computing course starting in September. So this will be a 2 years course. It will be the first and second year of a degree program. And hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to set up a third and final top-up year for level 6 to give students the opportunity to get a full degree with CCG. So it's a great opportunity for us looking at implementing this new cloud H&D program, and it will be in conjunction, as I said, with Amazon Web Services. So we're on the process of setting it up, and it will be going live hopefully in the next few weeks on the college website for those that are interested, if they want to pursue this as an opportunity. We'll be looking at the cyber security pathway for the second year of the program. Again, looking at the trends in IT at the moment. Those are the 2 key areas of growth, which is cloud and security and cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. So if anyone is interested in this, keep looking at college websites. Hopefully in the next week or so, it'll go live. You'll be able to click on the link and apply for the course, or if you want to just discuss it in more detail with me, you can contact me directly or contact Leanne and she can put you in contact with me. Okay.
Neil, just to echo on that in terms of the focus from an industry point of view on cloud, it is on the forefront of every cost conversation that I have with my customers, no matter how big or small they are, it's certainly something that's going to be here to stay. So, some of those courses that you outlined just before, I think are a fantastic way of upskilling and getting into the industry. There is a very big demand for those types of skills.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that growth in all the various different sectors where I've been doing a lot of research in that, and you can see that it's, as you said, it's not going away, and if anything, it's just going to increase in growth, particularly now with the switch to remote working. So, great opportunities for anyone thinking of career in that area, and of course, the good salaries that go with it.
Oh, Neil, thank you for that. Ashley's just put on the final slide from us. Just to make you aware that I know Ashley mentioned about it isn't too late. So if you are in the final year of your studies and you haven't necessarily made those choices, there is still time. All of the course information is available on our websites and also on UCAS. And I can pop a copy of the prospectus in the chat box as well for you in a second. But if you've got any questions at all about anything related to HE, even if it isn't with us, you're more than welcome to drop us an email at he@chichester.ac.uk, or you're more than welcome, I know lots of you on the call today are based at our Chichester campus, you're more than welcome to pop into the Progression Plus office at the front of the college, talk to one of the Progression Plus team or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help you. I'll hand back over now to Ashley and Alistair.
Hello. Just thank you everyone for attending. Huge thanks to Jess for presenting and telling us about Computacenter and IT. Thanks to Neil for talking about IT at Chichester College. Big thanks to Leanne and Ashley for presenting on the HE side of things and the funding side of things as well. If anyone's got any more questions, now's a great time to ask them, whether it be for me or for Jess or for anyone else. And also, if you think of a question tomorrow or the next day or next week, do feel free to email me or email Neil, or email that email, the HE email. You have all our email addresses. We're always here to help. And if you want us to contact Jess in the future, we can reach out to her as well. So we have another question for Jess from Alexandra. For the IT management program, would she be able to get into that with a computer science 2-1 degree, or does it have to be business related?
No, any degree with 2-1, it will qualify.
That's good. That's good opportunities for all graduates then.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the girls that was on a course with me, she did geography as an example. So it's not while I think there is a huge amount of value in terms of skilling up in some of those IT specific industry skills. One of the reasons that Computacenter looks for has a specific graduate program is you learn a lot of skills going through higher education, and yes, you learn about the content, but also the skills that you learn around developing as a person. So it's not necessarily the content, but the fact that you are able to develop and grow through knowledge. That's kind of one of the things that we kind of measure. So that's why a degree and a 2-1 is kind of the measure. But again, I'll definitely send the information off the back of this call around what options there are available, because there are multiple options available to anybody who wants to kind of come into the industry.
Cool, thank you. That's really positive for graduates of all programs. Good. I think that's everything. Leanne just posted the higher education at Chichester page in there, so I think that's everything. Once again, a big thank you to everyone, and thank you to Jess, Neil, Leanne, and Ashley, and thank you to all of you guys for attending as well. And yeah, any more questions, anything else you want to ask, do not hesitate to contact us. It's very easy to contact by email, and you can walk into Progression Plus at whichever college you're based at and find us as well. So thanks everyone, and I hope you have a very lovely Friday and a good weekend.